Hello, my name is Neil Urban. I'm your professor for this course, and today we're going to be talking about AI chatbots, otherwise known as artificial intelligence. So what are chatbots? I'm sure you've heard about that you can actually chat with by either voice or text and natural language. Um, Chatbots use what we call artificial intelligence to understand and respond to requests in a human-like way. Chatbots can also learn from the past and experience and actually improve their answers as time goes on. They can answer questions, help with tasks, or give you information. And as I mentioned, it's also called generative AI. So when we're talking about artificial intelligence, it's actually a very complex issue. And in this course, we're not going to go into the details, but just to give you an overview of artificial intelligence, it works in 3 layers. The first layer is what we call deep learning, which is a subset of what we call machine learning, in which networks can adapt and learn from vast amounts of data. These networks are modeled after the human brain and create connections between data points. Some of the tasks that the deep learning can help us achieve are image classification, like when you get facial recognition. It can help to process language, also to recognize speech and emotions. It's used quite a bit in medical imaging to review X-rays and MRIs, and it also is one of the fundamental parts of the software that's used for self-driving cars. The next step up from that is what we call machine learning, which are actual algorithms or computer programs with the ability to learn without being explicitly programmed. So these programs can identify patterns in vast unstructured data sets. This allows things such as voice-enabled virtual assistants like Siri or Hey Google. It can help with data mining when we're looking to find specific data points in large data sets and find relationships between them. Your social media algorithms, such as TikTok, which uses machine learning to process your feed. It can also help in fraud detection. Like on Netflix, when you get streaming recommendations, this uses machine learning. And also in Google Maps, when it's telling you what they think the traffic will be when you leave for work in the morning, it uses machine learning. And then the higher level there is what we call artificial intelligence, which are programs that actually interact with humans. And these are what we call the chatbots. So it includes some kind of input hardware where you can either talk to it or type into a keyboard. You can control it, and it can sense and reason to a point. It can act and adapt to new information. So right now there's really 4 of the most popular programs that are being used. Among the many options there are out there is first of all is ChatGPT, which was really developed by OpenAI, and that really was the program that really greatly exploded the use of chatbots just earlier this year. It's known for its ability to generate human text and is often used for writing and content generation. Another popular chatbot is you can find in Bing. Bing actually uses the ChatGPT, but it's a very well developed and quite sophisticated interface which helps you to answer questions and complete tasks. Bing Chat does work only in the Microsoft Edge browser, so if you're used to using Google all the time, you'd have to also download the Edge browser if you wanted to use Bing Chat. And then, of course, Google Bard. It's powered by the Google AI platform, so it has a huge amount of data. It can be used for a variety of purposes. One of the advantages of Google Bard is that it's actually connected real time to the internet, so it can give you real-time data. ChatGPT limits the data feed. Right now they're at about 2021 was the last time that they actually updated it with live data. And then there's also DALL-E 2, which is a system that can generate realistic images and art from descriptions in natural language. You can also use DALL-E 2 through Bing, and so it's fun to experiment with that. Most all the graphics that were created for this presentation was used using DALL-E 2. So what are some of the benefits of using chatbots? Well, it's convenient. They're always on. You know, they're always available 24/7. They don't go home at night, and they don't take breaks. They're usually very quick response time. Sometimes you put in a complex request, it may take a few seconds to generate, but it's very quick and convenient. Easy to use. You just use common language. You don't need any programming. You don't have to figure out how to say it. You just kind of type in what you would normally think about or how you would say it, and you can get results. It's accessible. Anybody with an internet browser can use it. It's consistent about developing accurate information. It can offer you personalized recommendation based on your past interactions, so it kind of gets to know you the more you use it, if you're always using it from the same browser, the same login anyway. It can handle many different conversations at the same time, and it can help in customer service, help with routine tasks like booking appointments or tracking orders. So some of the typical tasks that chatbots do, they can answer questions, they can generate text such as stories or poems, they can translate text from one language to another. They're good for summarizing long tests into concise versions. They can define terms, you can look up words, you can write code if you need that. You can give you advice and tips on a variety of topics. It can also simulate characters for role playing. It can like interview you for a job. It can explain academic concepts, of course, and it can engage in a detailed discussion on a variety of topics. So you can just kind of chat with it as you would a person. So what are the risks of using chatbots? Because there are some. There is miscommunication. It may misunderstand what you are saying or asking it, and it can lead to errors. And it may also be programmed with biases because the underlying algorithms were written by people, and people all have certain biases. If you share sensitive data with chatbots, it might not be properly protected because you don't always know where it's going. Chatbots still can struggle with complex requests or things that kind of go outside their programming, and usually if you ask it something that it can't do, it'll just say it can't do it. You do have to be careful. Sometimes it will make up information, so you have to be careful about that. And of course, if you depend too much on the chatbot, it can, you could limit your ability to problem solve if you don't have the chatbot. And it does create what are called hallucinations. So hallucinations are output from the chatbot, which is just totally ungrounded in reality or completely incorrect. It's like in a way that the chatbot is imagining things that it wasn't trained on or previously asked about. These things can be factually incorrect. They could sound right but could be incorrect, or they could be complete nonsense or completely out of context. One advantage of this is that you can actually use it to create images. It can create detail in images that don't exactly exist, and once again, all these graphics that I created for this presentation were done with language prompts through the DALL-E chatbot. It can also generate plausible but incorrect information. So you do have to, a lot of times, if you're looking things up or asking the chatbot, if you have to look at it and reason and make sure you think it's real. Sometimes you have to also make sure you can go back and double check through another source just to make sure the facts are correct. So you always have to verify the output. Compare the answer that it's giving you to something that you already know. You can ask the question in different ways and see if it gives you the same answer. And then one thing that we have that the chatbot still doesn't have completely is what we call good old human common sense. So always think about what the results that you're getting from your chatbot. So the chatbots can be used in construction. They're in many ways they're just starting to really be used extensively. So some of the benefits for the construction industry for using chatbots are it can improve efficiency, can increase productivity. They're available 24/7 to workers, so there's no downtime. They can help enhance safety by reminding workers of procedures and providing real-time alerts of hazards. And it can help to reduce costs by automating tasks and providing more efficient customer service. So some of the things it can do is answer questions from construction workers or project managers. It can help schedule tasks and appointments, identify hazards and safety warnings, provide real-time updates on weather, project progress, conditions, and other information. And it can also help manage inventory and track materials, which of course is a huge issue when you're managing a construction project. AI is already embedded in some popular CM programs such as Procore, Builder AI, CESDB, and BuildOps. So these are things that you might find already working within the construction industry. So the important thing about working with a chatbot and getting results from a chatbot is what we call prompt engineering. That is, what is it you're asking and how are you asking it? So prompt engineering is the crafting of effective questions to get the desired responses that you want from the chatbot. They don't understand content the way humans do, so they rely only on the input. There's no visual cues, there's no body language. There's not a lot of subtlety in it sometimes, so you have to be careful. And the way that you ask the question can play a significant role in the quality and relevance of the answers that you get. So, as you see here, it will only tell you what you ask. It won't necessarily tell you what you don't ask. So some of the keys for effective prompt engineering is what we call specificity, making the prompts more specific to get a detailed answer. So instead of saying, tell me about dogs, you might ask, what are the typical behaviors of golden retrievers, if there's something specific that you want. You have to give it clear instructions. So if you want information, you can tell it, give me a list of bullet points for a specific topic that you're interested. You can also do it iterative, tweaking and retesting the prompts based on the responses you already have. Helps you to improve clarity. Have to watch out for bias. The prompts can reduce or counteract biases, but the prompts, the way you write them, can also increase the biases. And you also want to do it in a way that does not elicit harmful, inappropriate content from the model. And you can also, it's effective to do it in a back and forth kind of conversational model to narrow down or expand the topic. So here's some sample prompts like for a student. Here you can see here, like, for academic guidance, what resources can I use to better understand this concept? Or how can I effectively manage while also exploring my other interests to maximize my study time? So there's a whole range of things you can ask it, which once you ask the first question, then it can lead to other questions after that. So for this class and this module, we're going to have some exercise, and there will be a separate video showing you these exercises. But these are kind of very simple things that you can do. One, you ask for a list of the 5 tallest buildings in the world. See what you get. And then you can tell it to write a song. We're not going to ask it to write the music, just the words, but it can do that. It can write poetry. It can do all sorts of things that are creative. You can write a cover letter for your dream job. That's just kind of a little exercise. And then you can actually have the chatbot interview you for that job, and then tell you whether you get the job or not. And then you can use it to check your understanding for information on a specific topic. So you get to choose a topic and have it answer your questions, and then it will recommend what more you need to learn about that topic. So these are just very basic prompts, but it gives you a good idea of some of the things that it can do. What you're going to do is there's 3 options that you have. You can go to Bing, Google Bard, or directly to ChatGPT, and this shows you how you can log on to those specific sites. And then if you're curious about resources for using tips and tricks on chatbots, if you go to YouTube, there's literally thousands of videos that are posted. You'll see things on TikTok or Instagram about using it. Here's 2 that I've seen that I think are very helpful, but if you go to any of these sources, you'll find a lot more links that might help you to better understand ways to use the chatbots. So that's the end of this lecture, and the next video that I post will be showing you how to actually use the chatbots to help you complete your assignment. So as always, if you have any questions, please let me know, and good luck.